Good evening, one and all. I, Sri Uttam Kumar Biswal, Assistant Registrar Establishment, have the privilege to host this program of joining address by our respected Director Sir, Professor K. Uma Maheshwar Rao, who is joined today and took over the charges of Director NIT Rourkela from our Director in Charge, former Director in Charge, Professor Simanchalo Panigrel. I welcome you all present here and connected with us through YouTube. I take this opportunity to invite our respected Director Sir, Professor K. Uma Maheshwar Rao, and former Director in Charge, Professor S. Panigrel Sir, onto the dais. Sir, please. Thank you, sir. I would also like to invite our respected deans, starting from Dean Faculty Welfare, Professor C.K. Sahu, Dean Academic, Professor S. Misra, Dean Student Welfare, Professor S. Jena, Dean SIC, Professor S. Paria, Dean Alumni, Professor K.K. Khatua, Dean PD, Professor P. Sarkar, and our Registrar Sir, Professor P.K. Das, to come on to the desk, please. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sirs. Respected Director Sir, respected Panigrel Sir, respected Deans, our Registrar Sir, respected faculty members, students and employees. Let me read out the biodata of our respected Director Sir, Professor K. Uma Maheshwar Rao. Professor Rao has graduated in Mining Engineering from Osmania University, Hyderabad, in the year 1983. After working in various mining industries for a total period of around 3 years, he joined Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University, that is ITBHU, for a Masters in Engineering program. He acquired his MTech in Mining Engineering in 1987 and was the topper of the class with a CGPA of 9.38 on 10. Professor Rao started his teaching career as a lecturer in mining engineering at the then Regional Engineering College, Surathkal, Karnataka, during 1987 to 89. Later, in the year 1989, he joined Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, in the Department of Mining Engineering as a lecturer. He obtained his PhD in the field of rock mechanics from IIT Kharagpur. With a steady growth from lecturer, he became a full professor in 2004. As a professor, Dr. Rao had served IIT Kharagpur at various administrative positions. Some of important portfolios were as the Chairman State, Vice Chairman JEE Department during 2006-08 and 2010 to 2014. In 2017, he joined as the Director of NIT Rourkela. Professor Rao's field of specialization is experimental rock mechanics, and he has been working in this area since 1989. He has produced 6 PhD degrees, and there are another 12 research scholars in the advanced stage of research under his supervision for their doctoral degree. He has, to his credit, published 30 quality papers in international journals and 30 papers in the international seminars and conferences. The milestone in his research is the publication of book on the principles of rock drilling, published by A.A. Balkema, Rotterdam, Netherlands. in the year 1999. Later, this book was also published by India Book House, New Delhi. This book has given Professor Rao an international acclaim in the field of mining engineering. Professor Rao has obtained INSA COSEF Award, that is Korea Science and Engineering Foundation Award, and under this fellowship program, he worked at Korea Institute of Geosciences and Mineral Resources during 2003 and 4. Later, he was also awarded Erudite Fellowship from KIGAM, South Korea in the year 2005. And he was appointed as a visiting professor at the Chonam National University, Gwangju, South Korea in the year 2008. He served as a professor in the Department Energy Resources Engineering at CNU during 2008 and 9. During his association with South Korea until 2012, he was invited on various occasions for delivering lectures in Seoul National University, that is SNU, Chonam National University, and Kangwon National University. He was also invited by the University of Adelaide, Australia, for delivering lectures in mining engineering. Later, in the year 2015, he was appointed as a visiting professor in the University of British Columbia, that is UBC, Okanagan campus by the School of Mechanical Engineering. Thank you. With this, I would like to request our former Director in Charge, Professor S. Panigrai, to address the gathering. Sir, please.
Honorable Regular Director K. Uma Maheshwar Rao, my respected Deans, Registrar, and my HODs of the various departments of the DAS. I take it as a privilege to welcome our Regular Director to National Institute of Technology, Rourkela, abode of infrastructural and aesthetic beauty, conducive for the education, maybe technical, science, bioscience, management, and also humanities, whatnot. I shall be failing my duty if I don't give the brief historical sketch of National Institute of Technology, Rourkela before him. And also I feel it that I equally failing my duty if I don't represent my mineral resources as a mining professional of Odisha, where we stand. As you know, NIT Rourkela founded in the, he will be beneficial, he may be the asset, not only to National Institute of Technology Rourkela during his 5 years of stay, he will be asset to my state, he will be asset to our mother Odisha, which is a mineral resources of the state. As you know, we stand on a rich land, Ratna Garbha. We sleep on a luxury bed, metal mineral reserve. We guard and protect gold, ruby, diamond, coal, emerald, sapphire, titanium and zirconium stain. We are amidst the plenty. Why should we be poor? Think and do out of the box. Call of your mother. This is my self-composed poem verse, one verse of my self-composed voice. So I feel that he will be during stay at 5 years, he will equally cater to the need of my institute, our institute, as well as our state. For the institute, NIT Rourkela, founded in the year 1961 as a regional engineering college. Down the line, there are 2 quantum leaps. In the year 2002, it became the deemed to be university, and 2007, it became NIT by the Act of Parliament. Now, we are celebrating Diamond Jubilee. Still inception till today, we are striving hard. We have never looked back in the path of excellence. Friends, you believe excellence is not a termination, it is the starting. Soon you reach the horizon of excellence, excellence will be shifted to 2 kilometers. We have to run, we can't stop. If sun has to give sign, he has to burn like a sign. This may be one of the messages in my literary form, what our Honorable Director has addressed in the today's Dean's meeting. You see, we have unique identity with various. NIT Rourkela has a unique identity and power and excellence in the various ranking system. May it be NIRF ranking, may it be QS ranking, and under this umbrella, there are 20 departments and 11 Center of Excellence. And we have 15 UG, 38 PG, and 4 integrated MSc courses in a blended composite mode of science, technology, humanities, bioscience, life science. Multidisciplinary research option, which mimics National Education Policy 2020 in each page and each line. During my tenure of 5 months of the in-charge director, I have gone through each line of National Education Policy where subject beyond the department, beyond the boundary, cross-disciplinary, interdisciplinary, cross-fertilization is mimics in every leaflet of the National Education Policy. And our ex-directors, ever since the inception from REC mode to till, they had an envision much before NET 2020 came into force. So, we are here to keep the legacy of their footprint, what they have left, making our institute proud in these days. Still, and we have to adopt the change. Unless you adopt the change, you will be taken back by the change. Change is the only constant of life. You have to adapt with the change, otherwise you will be outthrown. This was another message of our Honorable Director in the today's morning. We have to adopt the change. There is no other way. We cannot go back to our first generation ancestor computer, which is 2-ton weight, 400 kilometer wide. From that first generation computer, we have come to the laptop. So, depending on a technology, without knowing know-how of the technology is suicidal. So, we have to, once you depend on a technology, we have to know the know-how of the technology, and this is the call of the technocrat engineer of the day. And we have to meet reality with virtuality. Real class, because of the epidemic, may be a dream. Our virtual platform should be smart enough to make reality and virtuality to meet each other. I hope with the team spirit and with the captainship of our new director, we can meet the need in no doubt. And what I understand, he has made his old institute, NIT Rourkela, by his captainship, by his mentorship, they gone to the apex. From high-level elevated NIRF ranking. And we expect the same if we do coherently in spite of difference. Difference is the inequality, difference. No intellectual brain should follow the same trajectory. But however, once you converge to a point, we have to abide by law. None is above the law. Even a lawmaker is not also above the law. Once you converge the point, there is no other way. We have to opt for that. This is one of the messages what our director has given. in his morning, if I am correct. And captain may not be a good player. He may not be a goalkeeper. His job is to unite the people, coordinate the people, correlate the people to achieve the goal. He may not be the good player. He may be a good coordinator, good organizer. And ever since the inception, we are at the constant positive potential gradient with regards to number of PhD awards by the faculty as well as the student, and also sponsored research project, consultancy, placement statistics. We are at always a constant positive trend. And though there are some dip during the last pandemic, we have to cope up with no time under his dynamic magnetic touch. I believe grant shortage may not be an obstacle if you have a mind. My old director during REC era, they taught him that if you have a will, if you have a mind, nothing can stop you. Government grant fees, constant to the government grant, cap to the government grant may not be an obstacle if you have a real interest to read. Let there be no SEM. Teaching SEM, learning SEM, physics behind SEM needs one semester course. You should not depend that SEM should come to the institute, then I start learning. There is many things to be learned much before the instrument reaches. A crore rupees instrument, when people strike during my time that why there is no instrument, what can be done? My one answer is, what stops you to teach scanning electron microscope theory physics until this get repaired? It is not that holding the instrument, you have to make them functional. And one philosopher say, one mother, one child, one teacher, and one speech. The way what our director has given today can change the world. If you go to the power of speech, I really recognize today morning, and also you are missing, we all are missing, the people in front of my dais are missing his magnificent, inspiring speech that can motivate the people to do work ahead. Go to the... So this is all about my institute, and as you know, what our state is, we can explore all possible way within his stay in 5 years in this institute. This is all about my institute. This is all about my state. I will end up with my personal experience during my 5 months of tenureship as a director. Please know these are very emotional. If I am blocking others' time, because the teachers only, speakers only lekuna he start emotionally, but he doesn't know where it ends. It is just like a river. He only know where it starts and where it ends. But briefly I can tell you. On 26th January, after delivering the Republic Day speech, when I went home and turned the newspaper Oriya, first page I saw the photo of our Uma Maheshwara, and it is a selection. I thought I delivered talk of independence, now I made independent. Immediately, emotionally, within an hour, I telephoned him, and my first request to him is, sir, you join at the earliest possible, because my institute, our institute is orphaned for last 2 years of not having a permanent board of governors chairman, and also for last 6 months as a permanent director. This is my first, and thereby the perception of my institute is going down, and the perception is more important than my physical sitting the chair. And he told, I will make my best, minimum transit of 3 to 4, something like that. Meanwhile, I had an interaction, telephonic interaction. My first crying is, come and join at the earliest because I am helpless. I am immature. I occupy this seat all of a sudden and I have not that matured. And as if I find that somebody lifted me without my personal effort, and the only success of mine is to become a director for last 5 months is I climbed the higher academic grade scale sooner. So, administratively, or as you say, academically I can't dilute. I have strengthened and I have lot of vision which I can, if my director will ask, as and when required I can tell you. But with the financial matter, administrative matter, I am little discomfort because of the government cap imposition to some extent. Now, then actually, ever since when I was not as a professor, I could understand how much freedom I was getting. And when I became 5 months of director, the tension, the pressure, the deterioration of the health parameter, so I understand what our previous director has done. Maybe Professor Sunil Sarangi, maybe Professor Animesh Biswas, maybe Professor Somnath Misra, or whoever may be. How much contribution have they done for within 5 months I become helpless and softless. In the last BOG meeting, while concluding session, with a folded hand, I appeal my all BOG members, including MHRD representative, sir, help me pressurizing or requesting our would-be director to join at the earliest. However, my request, my humble submission became true and he could able to join at the shortest period. Now I am a free ward like a professor. Before I was there, I used to come by 3 mode, either very rarely by my car, sometimes by my mop, I say Activa, sometimes by my bicycle. While coming in my bicycle, which is a motorless, noiseless, and gearless and clutchless vehicle, though I am pedaling it with mechanical energy, I think the cycle is dragging me. But when I now becoming director, the institute vehicle sent to my house. First time I refuse. Just it is a 2 kilometer, why shall I go? But my PA says, so it is not you want, it is the, status want or protocol want. And if you come by cycle, it is an insult to, I accepted his offer and I came. Friends, you try to understand. When I was cycling, I was climbing like a circle, like a bird. And when I used to sit inside the car, though I am not using my mechanical energy, I feel as if the weight of the car is on my head. And somebody else is, and I am taking the luggage of the weight of the car. When I opened the door, I found pile of files. And that happens to be a quantum mechanical, a potential barrier. And I feel I am a small baby. How to cross this barrier of the file? How can I meet the expectation of my people? I am not a quantum particle so that I can tunnel. And I have a least experience. And with folded hand I told, and little bit about my least experience and the government constraint, coupled me and my spending nature. I want to use every pie of the government money coming from the taxpayers in a proper way. When I sign in equipment, I am happy. But when I sign a 4 tables costing of 40,000, my heart beats. Because I come from a very moderate family where every pie my father has taught to be come. So when I sign in AC, I think double, twice. I confess it that I am a miser. When I sign the refreshment bill, my heart beats. I think twice. Because I don't want. Because once the power is withdrawn from the certain people, as given to me, I am accountable for the nation. I make the best use of the money. For equipment, for chemical, no hesitation, nothing. because they are for the resources. Just now I was talking of the India with our director. He never uses AC, and he requested the pedestal fan should be there. India is gifted by such a climate. We need AC for 1 month. But as a fascination, as a sign of development, we make it centralized AC. Where there is no fund, the room becomes the animal's house, snake and owl's house. So think of the nation and do as per our climate demand. I could not meet your expectation because MHRD order says, in addition to your all responsibility in the department, you have to take the extra load. Think of a professor has to take 2 courses. However, when I suffered COVID, my HOD could able to share part of my lecture with another faculty because it is 2 disjoint subjects, magnetism and dielectric. One of my fellow colleague, he came forward, is Professor Anil Singh. Sir, you don't worry, don't take class. Magnetism I will teach. And after magnetism, you will carry on dielectric property. And now, soon today, I am handing over the charge. I will go on taking dielectric property. And I am still teaching first year classes. I am still having project. So where can I get time? I come to the department at 8 a.m. where the cleaning people has not entered and go to 8. Still then files remain files. And it is because of from 1 rupee to 1 lakh or 1 crore, it comes to the administrative approval of the director. And every time while signing, I see how best I can see. And also I believe that in-charge director of the same department should not be a longer period. Because of personal difference, because of belongingness to the department, something. I have to create more enemy than the friends. Then one story gave me administration. One day I thought what to do. A story came to my mind. Once a king, I will just wind up, please. Once a king wanted to test 2 advisors or counselor, who is the best. The king told both of them, you go to the deep forest and catch a bird, take a knife, cut it into 2 pieces, bring him to me. Be careful, nobody could have seen that you did such barbaric act. Both the advisors were happy. It is very easiest thing because it is a deep forest. Easily I can get a bird, easily I can cut, easily I can make 2 pot. Both went in 2 directions. Then within a 1 hour or 2 hours, one advisor or one counselor came, sir, I am successful. King asked, how you are successful? Sir, I went to the deep forest and catch a bird and cut it and bringing it into 2 pot. And nobody has seen, sir. Then other man came, sir, I am not comfortable. I am not successful. I am failure. Then king told, why don't? You didn't get anything in the bird, in the deep forest. Then he told, sir, I went and I found a bird. But and also caught it. And while cutting, you told nobody should have seen. I thought all the universe is seeing. So when I sign a bill or something, a file or something, a comment, though I am doing in a personal file, I feel my whole NIT community is watching. So I must be impartial. I must be perfect. May not be every niti and grit. So it should not be biased. The seat should not be biased. The seat will not give you any seat will not give you the status. It is you to give the value of the seat. And personally, I believe I could not meet your expectation, and it is because of my immaturity or something else. So, with this, I personally feel that what was my negative, many of my listeners has told, you speak something good, but you don't know other man's time. But what I do, this is many times I am also offended for that. But with this, you have given me an absolute opportunity. With this post of in-charge directorship, I could able to get 30 platform of the webinar, online seminar, across the department in various fields. I cultivate entering to that subject. Many times people come with 5-line, 10-line letter scripts or you inaugurate with these lines only. I feel it humiliated. Shall I read what 5 lines they tell? I go and search for one overnight. And with my subject I want to correlate with and this. And this is the golden opportunity I got it. And I got so much of appreciation from the counterpart foreign abroad. This is the opportunity I got. Simultaneously, I and also whole Rourkela, they want me as a speaker. I could not meet their expectation. So this post has given me many things. My friends, if I have done anything wrong, forgive me, do not forget. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and passionate words you deliver as always. Now, I would like to invite our respected director, sir, Professor K. Uma Maheshwar Rao, to deliver his joining address to NITR fraternity. Sir, please.
A very good evening to all of you. I have been already introduced, reading my biodata to all of you, and it gives me immense pleasure to be standing before you on my second innings as the director of NIT Rourkela. My first earlier stint at NIT Rourkela. Let me just start from where I started my career as an administrator. And you have already been given with the difficulties of being an administrator by Professor Panigrahi. Some people enjoy administration, some people take it with a pinch of salt, and a few take it with tons of salt, but then the difficulties of administration are there for everyone. It only depends on how anyone takes it. My experience as a director at NIT Rourkela, it was a mixed bag. There were many good feelings to cherish for the rest of my life, and equally or even worse, nightmares. Nightmares that it took away my peace of mind and put me to tremendous stress also. Maybe how many times in my life so far I must have broken down, tears rolling down my eyes, but then as a director, facing the humiliation at various positions, at various places. Right? There were occasions where I used to come back home and then break down. My wife was there all on my side, every time. The stress levels went up so high. This morning I just was sharing with a small group of deans that I was even hospitalized with a serum sodium drop to abysmally very lower, where I could have gone into coma also. That is the level of stress the administrator really puts to. Nevertheless, having said that one, it gave me an opportunity to really think, okay, the job when I have taken the responsibility, it has the challenges and I have accepted that. Having accepted the challenges, I thought that I have got to do what I really thought is good for the institution, so that the institution can remember me for years to come, not for 4 years or 5 years. The activities which we do, they are not really meant for a smaller duration of whatever the time that you are staying in the institution as a director. It is to build the foundation so that the institution remains sustainable with the newfound strength to remain stable, to remain strong. Whether you have a director today, whether you have a chairperson today, NIT Rourkela is always there or will be there. And it is the pride of Odisha. And let us never try to attribute the ability of the institution to one person who is a passing tour. He comes today, he goes back, right to the place wherever he has come from. It's like river brook. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. River goes on forever. It's a perennial river, right? And then the miller who is really having the boat there, he has taken many people, poor people, rich people, kings also, and then the soldiers and enemies that he has carried on his boat. Men come and then men go, but the river Brooks remains there. So now it is that the institutions are immortal. Institutions are not defined by who has headed the institution. No. That philosophy or that school of thought, in my personal opinion, it is not correct. Right? So now I have come here. I have come here for a period of 5 years, and then just this morning only I was telling our registrar that the emotion with which I was really talking to the small group of people in the boardroom, because when I was signing the paper, taking the charge as the director, it suddenly really made me realize that why did I get this second stint? What made me get the second stint? Right, when I'm the only one to have really been given this second stint, right, of the directors who are really there. So now, then I thought that there is something which I have got to retell the story which you all know. Maybe the story which I'm going to tell you is the story you know better than me. Right? I'm not going to tell you anything new about what is the importance of the institution and then where do we stand and why do we really have gone to the place where we have gone today. Right? And here, let me start with my first statement that NIRF is a reality. It's a reality, and that is a foregone conclusion. We cannot really have any debate on whether any institution should really comply to that one, or agree to that one, or work towards getting that one or not. I will just repeat what I just told in the morning, a few things. We take the students, those who qualify and get good rank in JEE. Right? So for a student to get the admission in Rourkela, that is a reality. Yes or no? JEE is a reality. And how about me as a teacher here? The reality is my performance, my accountability, and my position in the institution and the rank of my institution. That matters today. Because, yes, we are not in 1.0 industrial revolution. Today we are in 4.0 industrial revolution, and whole world has gone into a digitization, digital world. Right? You have now huge, humongous amount of data is being processed. Big data analysis and IoTs and then artificial intelligence, augmented reality, then the chain of what is going to really herald before us is very clear to us. So we cannot really remain conservative in my statement that, right, I learned ABCD on a slate with a slate pencil. No. Days have changed, my dear deans, faculty members, students and everyone, that times have changed. I have seen with my own eyes that my wife, she is an headmistress of Kendriya Vidyalaya and she is a teacher also. So when she was taking her first class online to the class 1 students, believe it or not, the child knew how to open the laptop, how to mute and how to unmute, how to raise the question and with the finger there, the palm there on that one, and how to put it down. Nobody taught her. She learned as she was passing through. Day 1 to day 5. At the 5th day, she learned how to really put herself in a comfortable seat of taking the instruction online. That is the generation we are dealing with. Generation Z. Right? We are dealing with that generation where information is available on various forms, various platforms, and then smartphone itself. When we are able to ask for the choicest food on Swiggy, we ourselves are doing. Knowledge is also available along with what we want to eat to what we have to understand. We are in that era. We cannot afford to be conventional. We cannot afford to say that this is my method. I believe in this method. It has given the results. Right? It must have given the results yesterday. Right? Tomorrow is different. Have we ever realized that online classes become a reality? Yes, I have used the word. Virtuality is the reality today. Right? NEP 2020, National Education Policy has really, it's a humongous again, it's a huge data compilation of a policy alone. It is just a policy. And that policy has left for the teachers to come out with a procedure. They haven't given you the procedure. Right? They have asked you to teach a student how to fish, not to give a fish to him, so that he becomes skilled to fish for the rest of his life. You follow your own procedure. This is my policy. Interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary is the approach. Come out of the silos and then try to have an interlinked education is what the policy has really put before you. And how do you really make this one a reality? That procedure, right? You are all intellectuals. The teachers having been in teaching and research and consultancy for decades. Right? We have got to really have that one. Yes. Second point I would just like to tell you is that this morning I said, I will repeat again here, because it is the thought which you have got to really understand very clearly. I said that what I am going to say is all about the old wine in an old bottle with the old label itself. What all has changed now, me standing here as the director NIT Rourkela, is that the scenario is changed. The scenario is very similar to 5-day cricket match to T20. I am made the captain of T20, not 5-day match, in which every single ball which my team player is bowling is very, 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 very important for me. You cannot just test on yourself which ball will put a sort of test the batsman. Right? No, I don't have so many balls to really waste, because I just have only 20 overs. In this 20 overs, and result is imminent. And then the result written there is, you have got to play and play to win, not to lose. We have got to play to win, is the times that we are in. Right? I know the ability of the faculty, my faculty here today, Rourkela, because one of your older, the previous directors, Professor Sarangi, Sunil Sarangi, he was my neighbor in IIT Kharagpur. I'm also from IIT Kharagpur. Right? And then Professor Damodaracharya passed out from this one. He was my director. There are so many great teachers at IIT Kharagpur who have come out from the portals of Rourkela. So I know the strength of and the legacy which Professor Panigiri has described of Rourkela. What is the change that is required is the style of playing the game. If you say that I am going to play 5-day match in T20, चलेगा नहीं. It doesn't comply to the rules of the game. When you are there, walking into the ground, from the pavilion to play, this is my style. I will go and then do the classical defense. I am known for my defense. Right? Rahul Dravid will never have a chance in T20. We need Virat Kohli. We need our previous Dhoni's. Right? Dhoni is not a copybook style batsman. He has invented a style that is known as helicopter shot, and that has become an international shot. So we have got to re-engineer. We are all engineers, for that matter. You are the teachers making the engineers, and re-engineering is our bread and butter. Right? When you are the supervisor of a student for his PhD, what is the first step we do? Well, the first step we do is that identify the problem statement, and you try to make out the plan how to really resolve the problem. That is what is engineering. Right? Now the problem is a reality. The reality is that you have got to increase the strength or imbibe the quality in your teachers and in your colleagues and in your students as well as in your staff that the problem can be resolved. You just have to re-engineer the thing which you are doing on a daily basis when you are supervising as a supervisor. You look for a problem, but when it comes to a real life, why should you really be scared of a problem? Solutions are not given in any guide as far as engineering is concerned. After all, Mahendra Singh Dhoni's shot of helicopter shot is not written in any copybook style or a shot. He has invented standing there what he thought is the best that he can deliver is that has become a part in the book. Right? Whenever you have completed a PhD, when you are inferred, when you have made publications of that one, every single publication, every single inference is what you want as a solution to the problems that you are facing. A judge cannot say that I cannot give the judgment. A doctor cannot say that I cannot really operate upon a patient. A surgeon cannot say that. An engineer cannot say that I cannot solve the problem. And a teacher cannot say that I cannot make anyone of this. Neither the judge nor the doctor or not the engineer or not. We are here omnipotent, omnipresent to make every single professional which the society needs. Remember this. That is the position of a teacher. Teacher should never be afraid of. Teacher should never be afraid of a problem. I have learned in a hardest way, taking the saline, sleeping on the bed, all alone. Me and then my wife in the hospital in a COVID time. COVID part 2. Bahubali part 1 over, Bahubali part 2, COVID part 2 was really bhayankar. In that, right, doctors were not ready to come too close to me, as if either an alien or something other than not to be seen from close quarters. That was the condition which really made me realize that every life has a purpose. And every life has an objective. And when we really try to work towards our objective and then trying to fulfill the expectations of the people on who have really put the responsibility on us, I think it is such a wonderful pleasure that you can never, ever in your life enjoy that. Right? That is the ability of a teacher. A village or a place, it becomes habitable only when that village has a priest, a teacher, a vaidya, and a person who can lend you money. Without this, that area or that village or a town or a city is absolutely inhabitable. That is the position of a teacher. Teacher is immortal. Maybe the person is mortal. His teaching is immortal. So now here, the time has come. The time has come for us to redefine our objective to achieve our lost glory. We have to really redefine that one. Redefine that one, and as I said, as Professor Panikar, he said that maybe you don't have to look at my ability in daily that basis, this basis on that, and then don't waste your ability and don't waste your intellect on trying to assess me. It's a waste of time that the government of India has put me here with a mandate, and then it is not for me to stand there and then for you to judge me. No. Consider me as one of you. Consider me as one of you. There is one ad, right? There is one ad which really has touched me long time ago. I think it is some BSNL ad or something. I don't remember, right? शहर में जब हम नए नए थे, भीड़ में भी तन्हा सा लगता है। बस उसी शहर में घर हो अपना, घर भी अपना और शहर भी अपना। I have now a home in NIT Rourkela. That is my home, and NIT Rourkela is my institution. And so I am a part of you. I am a part of you, right? So let us come together, and whatever the differences of opinion that we have in our home, we have to sit and then resolve before we take a unified, single decision which will put the institution on the pedestal which was there. It has to get its past glory, because it is the pride of Odisha. IIT Bhubaneswar is a new entity in comparison to REC Rourkela. REC Rourkela has a history. A history somewhere over the period of time, right? Not really making ourselves a little change. Okay. Again, I'll give you my personal experience. I purchased Nokia, the first generation mobile phone, when I was the JE chairman. I Kharagpur, they wanted me to have a Nokia, a small one, just a chota sa tha. And me had the Nokia phone, my co-chairman had the Nokia phone, all of us had the Nokia phone. And then we left the Nokia phone on the table, and suddenly it rang. When it rang, there was so much of a commotion in all of us. And then we all stood up. We all stood, and then how to really open that one? We were running around the room, right? How to really open that one and then make it call. That was the innocence, or that was the ignorance. Right? Today's generation is not in the ignorance. I really acknowledge this generation, right, which is having the full information of what they want, right, and how they want. This is called the millennial generation, or even we have crossed the millennial generation. We are into another generation, right? They think that they know everything. So we are dealing, as a teacher, we are dealing with that. This morning I told my deans in that boardroom about Kurukshetra. I will not repeat about that Kurukshetra. I will repeat, or I'll just try to take out another small leaf from that example. That Dronacharya, right, was just passing by, and then 100 Kauravas and then 5 Pandavas were playing, and the ball falls in the well. I think this is a story which you have read in whichever the book you have read about Mahabharata, right? That is there. So now he has exhibited the skill which people got really absolutely excited about and accepted him as a guru. He did not teach everybody the same skill. He made one the archer, he made another one Malla Yuddha, you made another one, fight with mace, he made each one, he designated each one, he identified 105 and 105 different forms of that, and somebody has, say, multiple skill sets. And there was one student who was really on online program. He was on online program that day, that times, Ekalavya. He was never into the class and then he was learning everything online. And he was a challenge to both Arjuna and everyone. Okay. So now the question which I just want to tell you is that these 5 Pandavas, whether they were existing true or not, but they stand as an example for us to follow that. One, Yudhishthira was bound to dharma. Definition of dharma is again a subjective one. Dharma. Dharmaraj or Yudhishthira, he had said he was never telling lies. But then once he said, right, Ashwatthama Hata. Kunjaraha, he said so silently that probably he himself did not listen. Right? Violation of a rule, our administration has to really help us. When we are playing Shatranj, that's what I told, that king and then a queen are the 2 standing pillars with all visibility of maximum movement is 1 step in Shatranj. Alright? They are always protected by front line administration. Right? Protected by mighty elephants on the sides. Protected by the skilled horses. Protected by the mantri who has a vision and who has a foresight. This is what is Panch Pandavas. Yudhishthira, man of dharma. Bhima, infinite power and then determination. Right? To take whatever he wants. He has promised his wife, and unparalleled skill is Arjuna, the visionary Nakula, foresighted, strategist Nakula, foresighted and a visionary Sahadeva. NIT Rourkela should follow the dharma, have the mighty determination, have the required skill sets, and adopt strategies and have a foresight. And you can win over Bhishma Pitamaha, Duryodhana, and Karna, and whatnot, everyone. Half knowledge is always dangerous. Abhimanyu became a scapegoat there. Might without any focus or any idea, right? Ghatotkacha perished. So now the times are no different from that Kurukshetra, where we have got to be following no violation of rules. GFA jumps, no violation. But then Ashwatthama Hata, Kunjaraha, our registrar will be taking it. He's Yudhishthira. He has to act as a Yudhishthira there. He should be in the forefront before we enter the line of control. Right? He has to give the clearance and then we go there. My faculty members. Because I know a physicist thinks of physics, a mechanics man thinks of thermodynamics or fluid mechanics. A mining man always thinks of 2 kilometers down the ground, not on the ground. He's never on the ground, he's only always underground. Right? These are my mining teachers. I'm a mining man. Right? And every teacher has his own area of specialization. Administrator is like a khichdi. It has to be tasty. It has to be energetic. It has to have everything of all in smaller proportions, making it as a wonderful, wonderful recipe. Right? That skill is what we have in our administrators. I'm not standing here to highlight why we have fallen down. I have made almost from 2017, I made an analysis of why today's my institution, Rourkela, has started falling. I have the statistical analysis. Right? It is not all in a sudden like a bolt from the blue. There is a gradual slip that is happening. When the able faculty members and highly qualified faculty members, capable faculty members with the best administration and the Rourkela, the choicest institution for the students, if it is failing, क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा? वो घर टूट जाता है जिस घर में जो रहते हैं वो आपस में लड़ते रहते हैं हर दिन. वो घर नहीं बनता है, घर टूट जाता है. And that घर becomes an example for others not to follow that. Rourkela was an example for me when I was in Surat. I'm openly confessing to you. Professor Animesh Biswas knew. He never liked me. He never liked me. The reason is that I was his professional rival. Otherwise, he's a very, very nice man, and then he's like a child. Right? I had one chocolate, he doesn't have a chocolate, and then he really envy me. Right? That is human. He's a very nice man. But then कहीं भटक गया हो, क्या कुछ हो गया हो, but then I never wanted NIT Suratkar should not become NIT Rourkela. Believe me. We were at 800 publications in 2017 and NIRF 23. Yesterday when I was walking out of NIT Suratkal, those faculty members and administrators who really put me to crying in the nights, put me to take saline for 6 days, were crying when I was leaving the institution. बस चंद कुछ डेज की बात है. People accept you and then accept you from their bottom of the hearts and then ready to give what all I wanted. They gave. One professor, I told him that I'm not giving you more than 4 days time. I need a project proposal where I'm going to defend in ministry. He gave me that 4 days time with the PowerPoints. They were ready. They have realized that there is no point at all in debating, going on a debate on what is this NIRF. Because it is a futile exercise. मैदान में उतरे हैं तो खेलने के लिए, वहां पर वो खेल का ये नियम के साथ आपके पास वो कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो, आप मैदान छोड़ के जाइए ना. Who is asking you to really file everything in NIRF? Go out of it. Ministry will not give you a single kudi, paisa bhi nahi degi. Exist on your own like any private institution. If you have that strength, if you have that conviction, if you have that confidence, I don't need anybody's shadow cast on me. बस चलिए आज से ही शुरू, हम ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में चलते हैं. अगर वो नहीं है, you have got to follow the rules of the game. There is no point in discussing on the rules. Rules are rules. Khatam. Finished. LBW means LBW. Khatam. Bouncer means a bouncer. Out of the off stump, out of the... Right? 6 is 6, 4 is 4. उसमें debate नहीं है. Debate will come only when you do not want to do it, you come out here debate. क्योंकि डिबेट पे आएंगे तो बहस करेंगे तो बहस का, बिकॉज देयर इज नो डायरेक्शन दैट यू वांट टू लीड विद योर डिबेट टू, क्योंकि बस आई जस्ट वांट टू किल द टाइम. हम कुछ फैसला नहीं करेंगे और हम कुछ फैसला देंगे भी नहीं. आई डिवाइड 1/0, खत्म, बस. कुछ काम नहीं करेंगे. इट बिकम्स एन इन्फिनिट प्रॉब्लम. In that state of condition, we cannot give the past glory to our institution, NIT Rourkela. A pride in Rourkela, a pride of Odisha. We can never do that. If we have got to do that, next year over, next year, it is not my request, it is not my appeal to you. Right? It is my statement to all of you. You be with me, I am with you. He will also be with me. Every single person in the administration will be with you. Students will be with you, alumni will be with you. With us, I'm sorry, they will be with us. Let us fight through the game to win. With the conviction in our mind that yes, we will win. 1983 World Cup, you remember. We were underdogs. You remember? We were facing mighty West Indies. Right? Bowlers were not bowlers. They were just throwing the fireballs at 150 kilometers per hour speed. मोहिंदर अमरनाथ जस्ट ऐसा 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 आराम से आके टू करके बॉलिंग करता था, बट वी वन द वर्ल्ड कप बिकॉज इट इज नॉट एन इंडिविजुअल गेम. ऑल द 11 केम टुगेदर एज वन सिंगल यूनिट. दैट इज व्हाट इज मैजिक. You don't need any Lord Krishna to really say like this and then magic comes out of it. No. Magic is within us. Are we all together? For some time. Till we cross the bridge. Bridge से पहले ही हम बैठे और आर्ग्यू करेंगे, बस ब्रिज कभी भी क्रॉस करेंगे भी नहीं. The time has come for us to sit on a debate after crossing the bridge. Once you establish yourself in the position 1, and it is only 1. The only one position which NIT Rourkela has today before you. That is the first rank amongst NITs. नहीं, ये बात है ना, आप थोड़ा सोच करके ताली बजाइए. क्योंकि जब आप ताली बजाएंगे ना, आप मेरे साथ हैं. आप मेरा साथ है. सब मिलकर के उस दिन हम बैठ करके NRF रैंकिंग एंड देन द ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर इज डिक्लेयरिंग दैट NIT Rourkela is 8th rank बीटिंग IIT हैदराबाद. उस दिन हम ताली क्या, बारात निकालेंगे. राइट? एंड द क्वेश्चन आई एम टेलिंग यू, 30 years I was a professor in IIT Kharagpur. Not 1 day or 2 days. 30 years. For 10 years, I was every year going to South Korea. I know the abilities of the faculty of Kharagpur. I know the abilities of the faculty in South Korea. Seoul National University is QS highest ranked, one of the top ranks. And then the president of Seoul National University is a Nobel laureate. Might they count? Right? The only difference here is that I will share with you one example. You give me your time, right? For the last 1 week, it's not for any other purpose I am telling you. For the last 1 week, I am sleeping from 12th onwards. I am sleeping at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and 90% of the time khali pet so rahe hain. And then after the episode of the sodium going away from my blood, right? My wife said that more than you need for the institution, you need for me, and then I need for you, and then I'll go आपके साथ. उमा और महेश्वर अलग नहीं है, एक उमा महेश्वरी है, अब आपके साथ रहेंगे. She has come with me. She has come with me. First reaction to of her looking at my portrait is that, right, you are always Bhola Shankar smiling there, your portrait, but then you have put me under capital U dot. There is a dot आ गया बीच में, हम दोनों के बीच में. फिर मैंने कहा, महाशक्ति पार्वती जी, डॉट मैं नहीं लगाया. क्योंकि the very entrance has my portrait, K dot U dot a gap and a Maheshwar. ठीक है, तो मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि my wife has taken a lot of trouble, because what happens in a boardroom, what happens in the ministry, what happens in the institution, what happens that when an heir of ranking is to be declared in Delhi, sitting there in one of the chairs, right? I must not have really become so nervous in my life, even when the JEE ranks were really declared of mine, even my sons also. Because that is the institution of which I am accountable. If I fail, I fail. For me, supplementary is there. है ना? लेकिन when I am accountable for the performance of what is the strength of faculty here? 365 faculty members and 8,000 students, and then the faculty and all. It's a beautiful campus, I tell you, right? Suratkal cannot come as a match to the campus. Every inch of Rourkela is beautiful. और आप लोग को क्या और चाहिए? आप लोग को क्या चाहिए आपको? That why can't we come together? I'm not saying that we have to come together. Let me go back to Korea. Right? I hope I'm having the time, because I have to really open up myself to you so that there is no confusion about who this man is. Right? I am a book in the library which open. It doesn't need to be issued to you. There is no accession number to my book. Right? It is available on the reference table. Right? You can read. My experience as a teacher in South Korea, 60 students in the class. I am teaching in English to the students who, with a lot of difficulty, they follow English. So first 3 months, from night 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock, right? There in Korea, Mongolian, the tradition is by 6:30 they finish their dinner. Okay? 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock I used to teach them English. Speaking and then reading and writing. Then teaching them rock mechanics and tunneling, and then the stresses around a tunnel and all that one. I became a popular man to go there for 10 years because of teaching English rather than teaching rock mechanics. This is the flexibility a teacher needs to have. क्या चाहता है that student? To become competent, to sell himself to the entire world. Once he knows English, हर दिन खुद ब खुद fishing कर लेगा. Alright? When you understand, your comprehension in English has improved, what's a big deal in really reading for yourself and then understanding? So now I went for 1 year, they sent me out after 10 years. And the beauty is that I give them an assignment. In India, this is a word to my students also here. In India, once we give the assignment to a student, we always call, in my college days also, Usmania University, there used to be a master copy. And master copy, सवेरे सवेरे तक, right? It बहुत सारे copy बन जाते हैं. And it is the same thing. मास्टर कॉपी में जहां क्या लिखा है वही रहता है. The difference there is that they also have a master copy. One student who is a sincere, obedient, and then wants to be good, and then वो उसके घर में और कुछ काम नहीं है, हॉस्टल में कुछ काम नहीं है, वो बैठे और मास्टर कॉपी बना लिया, खत्म हो गया. And then वो जो मास्टर कॉपी कोविड की तरह फर्स्ट वेव, सेकेंड वेव, थर्ड वेव, 60th वेव तक, when I get the 60th assignment, which is copied from the master copy, it is 60 times modified. Right? 60 times modified in the text and in the drawings and in every other inferences also. So I really like the mindset of the Korean students that you copy, but then you make a change in the copy, finding out, identifying, looking at a problem in the master copy and then giving a solution to in your copy. और क्या चाहिए? Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, automobiles are the best today. They have copied everything, including from the nut and the bolt from Germans. But then their motors have a different design altogether today. Because the design is not a conservative and for ages the same design. No, they have made changes. Like the assignment of the copies which I am really put to evaluate. Every single assignment gave me a challenge that it is better than the previous one. 60th is 60 times better than the first one. This is what we need. This is when we can teach our students the skills which are required to build the nation, make in India possible. बस चलो यार अभी साथ में चलते हैं और बैंड वागन की तरह ये पुं 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 करा डट करा, बस सदियों से बारात में यही गाना चल रहा है. कभी अलविदा ना कहना, बस यही गाना चलते रहता ना कोई नया धुन है, नया स्टाइल है. there is absolutely no novelty in that. You have a dhun, then you change that one. You make it really different. This is the idea that we, the teachers, when we are dealing with the millennial plus the generation, when we are dealing that one, you should not go back to your childhood. ये मैंने किया था when I was a student in thermodynamics. मेरा टीचर ने कॉपी लेकर के मेरा मुंह पे फेंक दिया, तो मैं भी क्यों ना करूं. करके देखिए क्या होता है. Change आ गया, my dear faculty members, right? Change has come. I will not take your time, too much of your time, because it's not just Professor Panigrahi who has the weakness of expressing the emotions. I don't come prepared. At least Professor Panigrahi has come prepared of after first paragraph, कौन सा second paragraph होगा और कौन सा third paragraph होगा. बस मैं तो जा रहा हूँ इसी. बट एक ही बात है मेरा मन में, I want you to follow me or you allow me to follow you. इसमें ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है. Either I follow you or you follow me. बट मंजिल एक है और रास्ता भी एक है. समय कम है, रास्ता बहुत कठिन है. Like you have hills. It's like the road which I have come yesterday night. But he brought me from Bhubaneswar. Sir, रास्ता कुछ खराब नहीं है, बीच में थोड़ा सा इधर उधर खराब है, सिर्फ 80 किलोमीटर खराब है. बाद में पता चला सिर्फ 80 किलोमीटर ही सही है. चलो यार, फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. ये समझ में आया कि 80 इज करेक्ट, 80 इज 100% करेक्ट, उसमें गलत नहीं है. बट देन 80 इज करेक्ट ऑफ गुड रोड, द रिमेनिंग इज ऑल बैड रोड. Believe me, we started 5 o'clock and right, our Biswal
That glass is half empty, half filled. Both are correct, but we shouldn't be optimistic. We couldn't have done it.
Yeah. See now, it's like that. But then he gave me a joy of right to me, and then my wife sumptuous potato chips, and then the grilled that is called slices and sandwich, because for some reasons we are vegetarians. इसमें कोई दूसरा कुछ और नहीं है. We remained vegetarians, and then we are vegetarians. So he took care of me. The way he gave me company for this 8 hours. We knocked the campus by 12:30, started at 5 o'clock. And I learned a lot in that 8 hours, that never recommend by road from Bhubaneswar to Rourkela. ये जो है ना, so for that I acknowledge the information. The failure is a good lesson for millions of people not to follow that. Right? Duryodhana is a much better hero for the present generation. The reason is that there are so many millions of ways which we should not follow him. ठीक है, अर्जुना इज ग्रेट बिकॉज ही हैज द स्किल्स. बस उसका कहानी उतना एक ही लाइन में हो जाता है. इज एन एक्सलेंट स्किल्ड पर्सन. लेकिन दुर्योधन, ही इज वन ऑफ अस, यू नो, ही इज वन ऑफ अस. He never wanted to play dice, but he wants to win. Have you really realized that one? He's afraid of really taking the dice into hands and then throw it because अपने आप पे confidence नहीं है. शिकरी को बिठा दिया. He never played, but then he wants to win. He is jealous, right? He has ego. He is egocentric and he is vengeful. अगर हम आराम से बैठे पकौड़ी खाते हुए और चाय पीते हुए देखेंगे, हमें दुर्योधन ही है, अर्जुन नहीं होता है. Right? So we have got to win that Duryodhan now for our institution. Let us come together as Panch Pandav, right? Lord Krishna is there not just in Jagannath, he is there everywhere. He is not just in Puri Jagannath, he is there with us. And then if our sankalp sahi ho, and if our determination and our effort sahi hone se, tortoise bhi jeet gaya na. Hare and tortoise का इसमें, right? आखिरी खार जीता है कौन? संकल्प उसका उतना स्ट्रांग था, मनोबल इतना स्ट्रांग था. He won at the end. बट एक ही यहाँ पर कहानी में थोड़ा सा चेंज है कि टॉर्टॉइस के साथ टाइम था, अपने पास टाइम नहीं है. राइट? एंड थैंक यू फॉर लिसनिंग टू मी. एंड आई वांट दैट this morning I told, I'm telling again, the logo today of amongst us is e to the power of mx. We are not following the gradient, gentle gradient of y is equal to mx plus c. हम जा रहे हैं, चढ़ रहे हैं, and then the slope of your line, she is so mild that इसका कुछ असर ही नहीं है. So it is not that. Our logo is exponential. Today we are here. Next year's NIRF ranking यहाँ पर इसी हॉल में सेलिब्रेशन होना चाहिए और इस जगह पे नाच और गाना होना चाहिए. ठीक है? ठीक है? Are you all there with me? I am there with you. Right. Let us all up the dais, on the dais. We are all one family. एक युधिष्ठिर है, एक भीम है, एक अर्जुन है, और नकुल है, एक सहदेव है. कृष्ण भगवान तो हर में है. Let us not become Abhimanyu. Let us not become ignorant Ghatotkach. Right? Let us wish each other all the very best from today, and then our mission accomplishment starts from now. Yes? Thank you very much. Good night.
Sir, thank you. Thank you for your inspiring and enlightening words. I'm sure your words and this speech would definitely be remembered and cherished for years and years to come. Sir, actually I want to say that we are very fortunate and privileged enough to have you as our director, as leader, and I'm sure you will achieve greater heights under your able guidance and leadership and vision. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like, yes, I forgot to mention, if I count the takeaways from the speech of our director, sir, I can remember that, yes, we will play the T20. T20 in the sense that 5 years term multiplied by 4 quarters is 20. But we will play this 5 year as a T20, means we will finish it in a hour and a half or so. So, as I told, we will act definitely as a family, as one unit. And we will definitely work to bring back our lost glory, and we will not be ignorant Bharatkas, but we will be definitely acting as a family like Pandavas. Thank you, sir. Now I would request our registrar, sir, Professor P.K. Das, sir, to exchange vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Honorable Director, Professor Mamois Rao, and all the esteemed deans on the dais, head of the department, head of the center, head of the units, and other professors, faculty members, those who are assembled here to listen the address from the Honorable Director, sir, and also those who are joined through online, particularly students, other NIT communities. Good evening to all of you. I personally is energized. I must say that this talk or this address by our director, sir, and the morning session also, definitely it is a thought-provoking to all of us, and definitely it is energized to move on and to align ourselves in the right thought that he has outlined with a different dimension also in his talk, his narrative. And we have to take it seriously, though he has made his talk very acceptable and stating the mythological story, but he has a core intention behind that, and we have to take it very seriously. And I hope, sir, many of us will be interested to join in your IPL team as a member. So,
No. Interested की बात नहीं है. ये exchange कर रहा हूँ. You are in my team. I'm not giving you the choice of आप मुझे join करेंगे नहीं. You are there.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Please, never. Don't ever think that मुझे choice है. आराम से सोचेंगे. ना.
Okay, sir. That is the way that definitely we have to meet the target, that because you have to re-engineering ourselves and realign with this way we are thinking. So definitely future is uncertain. We have to have the technology and move ahead. So that way we are fortunate with a rich experience of administration at NIT Rourkela, and definitely help us, each of us, to guide and definitely move on to meet the target which we have already set for each of us. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us, and Professor Paningre, sir, who has for last so many months has taken the charges and delivered to his best, and we must thankful to him. And all the deans those are assembled here definitely meet with a converse in our thoughts, as director has already mentioned. Definitely this momentum will carry forward to work together in coming time. And all the students, those were particularly students, those were listening to our this voices and advices of the director, definitely, because they are also major stakeholders in this process of NIT as a community, and definitely they will take it seriously and they will also move on. And most of the faculty, those were meeting through the online process, and I hope they have to think in this orient themselves also in this process with a new setup, new command with a new director, sir. And particularly the NTEL group, those who are here with us, they have live telecast. We are having a separate group in our institute. They usually deliver this live telecast also. We are very much thankful to arrange this particular live address. And I also thank to make this particular session a very successful one. All the professors, those are assembled here, I must thankful to them. And our security people, those are there since last night, they are also working on this matter. So I must thankful to them. And this much, and I hope with a new beginning we can work together with a common motto and to be successful in our endeavors. Thank you all of you. I must thank Uttam because he has taken a lot of time, because since immediate when I requested him to move on to Bhubaneswar, you might not be knowing he is having back pain, but still he, without any hesitation, he agreed to my request. So I must thank my colleagues. He is my just like younger brother, but still I appreciate his effort, and he is also holding two important area of operation like finance and assistant man. But still, I hope you'll carry forward in the same fashion, and he has anchored this particular meeting very nice, effectively. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure on my part to receive our Honorable Director, particularly if he is coming to join for the first time. Actually, I was privileged, so I said yes immediately. Yes, it was an honor for me. Right. Okay, sir. Thank you very much for extending the vote of thanks. Now, let's call it a day. And with this, I would invite everyone present here to join our director, sir, for a high tea. We have arranged outside BBA. Please join with us. Thank you. Good night, sir.